So, if the scriptural knowledge coming to Manu is the terrestrial level of knowledge, but is Manu there on the earth now? See, my understanding of terrestrial is in that context, that Prabhupada refers to Manu as the first human being. Now, does the human being, Manu, reside on the earth? That is, now from what I have seen in the Bhagavatam, I cannot give categorical answer, but it does seem that there is a clear link between Manu and subsequent people who do seem to reside on the earth. So you could make a logical inference that Manu must also be residing on the earth. However, even in the scriptures, say for example, we have right now Vayavasat Manu is going on. Before that, so the Bhagavatam primarily talked about two Manus, Swayambhu Manu and then Vayavasat Manu. In between the 6 Manus that are there, it just goes just fast forward in the 8th canto. It does not go deeper into their particular descendants at that time. But even in Swayambhu Manu's time, say for example, when Dhruva is ruling, his father Uttanapad is there. Now, is Manu there at that time on earth? It's difficult to say. Now, there is quite often an intervention of higher beings when an emergency is there, when something is required. So, if we see now that when Dhruva gets very angry with the Yakshas, at that time Swayambhuva Manu seems to appear over there and he pacifies him.
I mean, if his length was also was like...
Yeah, so I'm just saying that,
yeah.
Just look at 4.11.6 now. When Swayambhuva Manu saw that his grandson Humara was killing so many of the Yakshas who were not out of great compassion, he approached Dhruva with great sages to give him good instruction. Let's look at the Sanskrit. Tam hanyamanam abhiviksha guhyakan anagasash chitrarathena bhurishaha autanapadim krupaya pitamaho manur jagadopagatah saharishibhi. So jagadopagatah. He gave instructions, he approached. So it's approached is described. It's interesting. Certainly it doesn't seem like Manu was staying in the family of Uttanapad. It is not that Dhruva's mother said, let's go and talk with your grandfather about this. That option was not there. And it says Saharishibhi. He appeared with the sages. So Manu seems to be alive at that time, clearly. But Manu doesn't seem to be living on the earth. Okay. So when I use the word Manu as a terrestrial, coming to the terrestrial level, it seems that there is a genetic link. You could use the word genetic in the sense that, not genetic, genealogical link. That Manu's sons and the descendants seem to be directly living on the earth.
Yeah, because Ikshvaku was Lord Ram's, forefather.
Yeah. So now, it seems in some ways Manu must be on some intermediate planet.
That's what I was going to. So between celestial and terrestrial, I know sometimes you have used terms like trans-terrestrial, but you have used trans-terrestrial terms when talking about celestials.
Exactly.
But is there a layer in between celestial and terrestrial called trans-terrestrial?
Okay, see how it is that within the broad Hindu canon, the Hindu canon is a sacred book of books considered sacred. The origin, composition and population of the universe does have some significant differences. Like the way the Bhagavatam describes the universe originates, that's not the way Manusmriti describes. That's not the way some other Puranas describe. So, and if you go into the yogic tradition, yoga tradition, there it seems that there are lots of mystic powers, and there seem to be domains associated with mystic powers. So my understanding is that these 7 planetary systems, it need not be just like 7 layers, 7 floors in a building. There could be like layers within that also, just like there are 8.4 million, so 4 million 400,000, whatever you want to say. Human beings are also there. So 0.4 million human being species also there. So like that, in the heavenly levels, also there could be layers.
Okay.
Because there are so many devtas.
Yeah.
Now do all the devtas fall in the Svargaloka only?
So Bhuva Swa, so Devatas are on the Svargaloka, because after that, as Krishna says, higher than that is Uttam Vidhan Loka, the Maharloka and Tapal Loka and
So
Jana
now,
Loka.
so it is, even among devtas there is a clear hierarchy. That is, Indra is supposed to be the most powerful. Of course, Shiva falls in a different category.
Yeah.
Devi also falls in a different category generally. But among other devtas, Indra seems to be the most powerful. But then, each of the devtas seems to have, like Vivaswan seems to have his own place. So like that, the other devtas also seem to be having some. So basically my understanding is that there must be a lot of nuances with respect to the various abodes.
So if we get some scriptural basis to say that between celestial and terrestrial there is something called trans-terrestrial, which is an additional layer, then this resolves this question. Completely.
So I think that's fair enough. See, in the Bhakti tradition, see what happens is, like the focus is not so much on Svargaloka. Whenever even Svargaloka is described, it is often the opulence is described for two purposes. One is to describe how, despite having so much opulence, it's ultimately temporary. Or the other is like how some devotee in this world, like the Dwarkavasis or Yudhishthir, it is Sudama, it is Maya Sabha, he got more opulence than the heavenly plans. But it's the heavens that don't seem to be a matter of specific categorical interest. So that's why I would say that
and also
Manu seems to be some way a link between
the two.
And then that's why because he's so closely connected with the terrestrial, so you can call him the first human being as Prabhupada does. But it doesn't seem that he's physically here throughout.
Because the question was, that